Professional engineer registration process has been one that has been daunting to very many young engineers for the longest, but one that has been recently been demystified and as something that is very doable. This started with hashtag 10,000 GEs to PEs. It was a movement that was started to have more graduate engineers transition to professional engineers. I've been part of that movement, and I think many graduates are now able to transition very easily because of the guidance that has been offered to them to register, and because of all the information that has been put out there, and even the sensitization meeting that Engineers Board of Kenya does. Today, I wanted to take us through the 3 basic requirements that you have to have met before now you start your process of registration. These are the bare minimum. There are other requirements that you're gonna need, like for example, how many months doing design, how many in supervision, and like things like that. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the requirements that EBK has set the minimum for you to be qualified to be registered. So by the time you're ready to register yourself as an engineer, you should have met 3 requirements. So the first requirement is you should have been registered as a graduate engineer with the Engineers Board of Kenya. Graduate engineer is a category that Engineers Board of Kenya registers those who have graduated from engineering school, from accredited engineering schools, but haven't attained the right experience or industry exposure or work experience to be able to be trusted with the responsibility of executing engineering duties. So once you finish school, you need to register yourself as a graduate engineer as soon as possible, as long as your foreseen career or your career trajectory will need you at one point to register yourself as a professional engineer. And I'm going to show you why you need to register yourself as soon as possible in the next few minutes. The second requirement that EBK wants is that you need to have a minimum of 3 years of experience post your registration as a graduate engineer with the Engineers Board. So when you register with the Engineers Board as a graduate engineer today, June 2026, it means that you can register yourself if you have met the 3 requirements that we'll discuss here as a graduate, as a professional engineer in, let's say, June 2026, July 2026, June 2026, June 2027, June 2028, June 2029. So if you register yourself as a graduate engineer with the Engineers Board today, you'll be able to register yourself as a professional engineer if you meet the requirements in June 2029. I know the point is home now. The third requirement is that you must have worked under a professional engineer. So the 3 years that Engineers Board is talking about, your experience needs to be under the supervision of a professional engineer. So ensure you're being mentored by someone. And as I said before, having worked a lot with graduate engineers who are trying to transition to professional engineers, I have actually heard of questions, especially people who are doing maintenance or people who are not working on a design project, having it so hard when it comes to this point. Or I'm really sorry, that's actually a whole different point because now that I'm taking you to now the sub requirements. Now when you start writing your reports, they want you to break down your years in design, your years in supervision, your years. So a lot of people really get disturbed at that point. But what I wanted to pass through is the people who say, where I'm working, there is no professional engineer. Or the experience that I've gotten, I've not worked under a professional engineer to maybe this amount of time. So what do I do at this point? So what I wanted to say is for each experience, for Engineers Board of Kenya looks at your experience very individually, and whatever your circumstance is, there is always a way out that you're able to still demonstrate your competence. So some people always maybe get attached somewhere for a couple of months to get whatever experience they need. Some of it maybe even if in your work there was no professional engineer, probably there was like a professional engineer, not in your work, but within the project, who was guiding the decisions that was being made. The point I'm making is there is a lot of customization when it comes to your individual experience, because your experience is actually very unique to you. And so this is just a minimum requirement. I just wanted to put it out there because of the question that is actually being asked. So when you're ready and maybe you had experience where you didn't have supervision, you should always just seek guidance and be told what actions you can be able to take to qualify for registration. Sometimes you might need to wait it out. Sometimes you might actually just need to do something very little and then it works out. So these are the 3 requirements. Be registered as a graduate engineer with the Engineers Board of Kenya. Have 3 years post-registration with the Engineers Board of Kenya. Be working under a professional engineer. Cheers.